Hey, what's up guys? Sophs here, welcome back to another video. Today I have a pretty simple tutorial for you guys, which is how to make boxes, bros. So, I've been making boxes since I was probably 6 years old. Very simple concept. If you've seen a box, you probably know how to make it. If you don't know how to make it, it's probably still in your head. You just need to excavate it. Well, that's a big word. And I'm sure you'll do fine. So yeah, we have some simple templates for you guys. You can really just sketch these up and cut them out and glue them. You are gonna need some materials. I would recommend some scissors unless you're gonna rip everything. You can do that. It's been done. You can rip. Glue stick would be good, or tape. Tape is probably better, easier to use, but it won't give as good as a finish unless you got some like fancy duct tape or something. Or you could just not use glue. I've seen it done as well. Not the most desirable thing. And then you're gonna need paper. So when I was in elementary school, boyo, we didn't have no fancy cardstock. So we also didn't usually have normal printer paper. We probably had like construction paper or printer paper that was already used with like some worksheet or something on this, so we got as leftover to make into whatever we wanted. So yeah, you can do this with cardstock. Like I made this box. Again, not the fanciest box in the world. Didn't really come out too great, but I needed it for a video, so I made it. But I'm going to show you guys how to make something like this. Hopefully yours will come out better than this one did. But your drawings make it look good. But I use cardstock for this. Paper will work, but like this can hold one whole mannequin man and it won't collapse. Will paper do that? I don't know. So you got to keep that in mind. Will your box hold a whole mannequin man? I don't know if it would if it was paper, but it is pretty sturdy with cardstock. So let's get into how you do this. Okay, so you got your piece of paper here, and you say, Soaps, how do I make a box? So there's some very simple ingredients to a box. You're gonna need flaps, sides, and bases. So you got your base, you got your side, and if you look on the inside, you have your flaps. So flaps are what hold the thing together. Surprisingly, you can make some pretty sturdy stuff out of non-sturdy stuff like paper, and it depends how strong your flaps are, how well how well glued they are, and just how tight it is and how proportional everything is. So this is going to be a very rushed sketch because I'm kind of doing this through a camera. But you want to start with the base. So maybe let's say you want to make a sort of booster pack box like I did. So this is your booster pack. I know, perfectly straight line. So this is where the base is going to be. So you don't always have to start with the base, but if you want the base to be a certain size, so let's say the size of a trading card, you're going to want to know how big it is because you don't want to make it and then have it not fit. So then you got to make your sides. So the way that I made this is I said, okay, I want the sides to be 2.5 inches. So I said, all right, 2.5 inches right here, bam, and I just did 2.5 inches all the way around. And it's a really good idea that you connect it like a 2.5 inch border, or whatever, how wide you want your edges to be. And just basically just make a big rectangle around your base. And when you cut this out, you're going to pick one side of each of the sides to become your flaps. So this is what you're going to cut here, this is what you're going to cut here, this is what you're going to cut here, down that line, and then you'll have flaps that you can fold in. And I'm going to cut this out, this beautiful box, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've cut it out and I've made my cuts for the flaps. And yeah, this is like the crudest a box could ever be, but I'm pretty sure it'll still work kind of decent. So we're going to fold up our sides here. And yeah, I didn't really make the cuts all the way. That's fine. Just do a little bit of ripping. So we're going to fold in all of our sides here. 3 and 4. And then we have all these flaps and they're trying to come up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our flaps and we're going to fold them in. Probably could have done that at the same time that I was doing side flaps, but whatever. It's a whole lot of flappage here. So then, as you can see, your flaps and your sides are going to be coming together to create a 90-degree angle. And when you glue it, it's going to stand up like this. Actually, I may as well just show you. Alright, so I put a little bit of glue on the inside of the flaps, and bam, and bam. So there, very crudely, you have a somewhat paper box. You could have folded this better. You could have glued it a little bit more. And then once we get this side, we'll have a half of a box. So what people used to do back in the day is this would be one half, and then they make another half of the box that is just maybe a millimeter bigger so that it can slide over on top of it. I mean, I think you can really just do the same size because I don't think you're going to be that exact. Just try to make it a little bit bigger, and you can slide it over and you'll have a cover. You have a box that you can take off like this. Don't make it as thick or you won't be able to take the top off. You want something that you can pull. That's a top taker offer box. For something like this, you're going to want to expand this flap back here. I'll do another design for you guys, but you're going to want to expand it out and have it so that it's going to fold over like mine. See, I actually went too short on this and I had to glue in another extra thing because I wanted to be able to reproduce this and make copies of it. I didn't actually end up doing that. I just took the original because what the heck. But I wanted to fit it all on one sheet of paper. You guys don't have to, because unless you're going to try and make copies of it, you can just take up as many sheets of paper as you want to make, as long as you need. So yeah, that's a top lower box, and I'll show you with a flap. Okay, so I put a little bit more effort into this one. I used a number 3 pencil, so it didn't really show up very well, but it's pretty easy to erase. Yeah, this is what it's going to look like. So I just added an extension right here. I'm just doing this on normal paper still. So yeah, I'll cut this out and glue it, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so I can tell you what, guys, I kind of made a mistake with this one. So the box came out okay. Just shows you that, again, you can make a paper box. It does work. But the flap, I made too big. And it wants to stay up. And I tried to reinforce it with cardstock because it wasn't wanting to stay up. And now it's like a little bit too much. But that's okay. So you can put your, I sized it to put your cards in. And then you can, let's see if I can get it again. You can have a nice canopy for your cards so that they don't get sunburned. But yeah, guys, there's some simple tutorials. It's really not that hard. It all consists of this simple design of having a rectangle that you fold up sides and turn flaps into making boxes. And you can use it to create a little bit more elaborate things like this with a flap. Or you can even go a step further and make something like the box. Let me grab it, actually, one second. Like this for 7Cs. It all really comes down again with your flaps. And the flaps are just a little bit more elongated because these are your 2 bases right here. These are your side flaps, just like right here. And then the one that gets glued, this time there's only one side, one flap, which is right here, that holds it all together. And there's 2 more down there and 1 down here as well. So it's just, you're just changing the position of the flaps and the sides and the bases that make up the boxes. So have you ever heard of a man who talked about boxes for 9 minutes? Me neither, but now you have. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you can make some pretty simple boxes now. Remember, guys, it's all about you trying to figure it out. I can't wait to see what you guys can come up with, not what you copied from this video. Try and do your own thing, like usual, guys. That's what it's all about. Go have some fun. All right, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in another video.